in the game. You are the result and consequences of the game. You are the end of the game, and you are that in which all games disappear as though they have never been. Beloved friends, look around you. This means the world is not outside of you at all. It is you. You are playing a game. The game is going to take this very planet into a transfiguration in light, and you will all be transformed in the twinkling of an eye. Well, of course, you will be. You are God making up the game. That is all that is going on. That is all that has ever been going on. There is only that which I am. There is only that which I am. I am indeed that perfect impersonal I. I am the creator of all things, the sustainer of all things, the destroyer of all things. There has never been a separate I where you are. There has only been me showing up as you. You are perfect and whole, and you are innocent. You have never failed, and you have never sinned. How could these things be that I have spoken to you time and time again as Yeshua ben Joseph, unless you are already whole, and wholeness is God? You are it. You are the destination of all you are seeking. In the beginning, the mind, which is me, which is God, pretending to be separate, plays itself out and tries to make itself be as separate as it thinks it can be. But separation never succeeds. The first step in the awakening process is to hear the word. You will hear the word when you decide, as God, to have the experience of being a being awakening to the truth. Everyone reading these words has indeed heard the word, and the word will be given unto you in a form that you choose. Everyone reading this the way of mastery chose to hear the word through me as Yeshua ben Joseph. That vibration received by you set you on your course toward perfect remembrance and enlightenment. You are the one that created the drama of the crucifixion. You are the one that set in motion the return of Yeshua ben Joseph as the primary teacher in this world. Why? Because you are the one that has decreed that it is this context in which you will give yourself permission to edge ever closer to the reality that the whole thing is God and you are that. What has been playing out then for these past 33 lessons, and even longer than that, indeed, been playing out for 2,000 years in your creation? It is the game of God, remembering God through the guise of God's creation. As you come then to accept a savior or a teacher or a teaching, that is a stage in the awakening process. And when you decide to release your grip of fear a little deeper, you begin to have what are called mystical experiences. You begin to realize that you can be aware of someone else not in the room with you physically. You begin to have unique and extraordinary experiences of communicating with beings that do not have bodies. And oh my goodness, it all looks to be so incredible. Yet, even that is but a stage of the journey. I know that this lesson is not easy, even for me. And sometimes I say, it's not true. It's not Yeshua, it's a person who has usurpated his identity. My mind, my heart, love this, don't love this. It depends in what part of myself I am. So I think maybe it's the same for you. Sometimes you listen that and you say, no, it's impossible. No, it's a false teaching. Another time you say, yes, I can feel that. I feel that, it's true. So I repeat, taking that, what is okay with you, and let on the table, on the little desk of your mind, the parts that are not okay with you. In all the book, in all the lessons, you will find many things that you will love. So don't reject this teaching, this book, because you don't understand some parts, or because you think that some parts are false. Because I can say that at my first reading of that, many parts were false. With experience, with time, with a new kind of consciousness, I understand differently many parts, many sections. I'm not sure. I have doubts. I have some fears that it's not good, it's not true. But I know also that many parts are true and verified in my experience. So this chapter, this lesson is very, very subtle, very hard, because we think very, very often that we are small being, completely separated of God and of the power, and that we have a limited mind, and that we cannot do things, that we live with a lot of things that are missing, people that are missing. But gradually we understand that it's a dream in our mind. It's some fears materialized. It's relationship in link with some experience that we wanted to know other parts of God, to know other experience of our brother, sister, who are parts also of us, of God. And everything is necessary to understand deeply, so we can have a lot of gratitude for everything, because with everything we can learn inside of us, and we can learn to understand better another being who seems different or similar to us. I see also more and more how my life is a projection of my mind, of my heart, of my fears, of my separation of my mother and father, of when I don't want to be the Christ, the divine child, and that created an experience. And all the experiences are good, are okay, are neutral, because it's a flavor, it's something that we want to experiment. The teaching of the projection is very, very important, but here we don't have it actually. So just be patient and don't react too much with the parts that you don't like actually, or that you don't understand, and take other parts before, after, other lessons that I have recorded or that I will record, and gradually you will feel, you will understand, you will enter in that, and you will see that it will not be like actually like now. You have more information also about the book in all the links under the video, and on my website, the Divine Sky, le ciel divin, wix.com/the Divine Sky. I don't remember, I think I have said it at the beginning of the video. And also on my website, Everyoneweb, fr/ the way of mastery, and on Chanticristo Foundation, chanticristo.com. With all that, you have other extracts of the book, this teaching, and you will see that in other parts you will understand better, you will feel better, it will be less stranger, and you will appreciate more this teaching. Okay. I see also that when we talk about God, many people reject the teaching, and in some parts Yeshua said that it was necessary to use these words that many people reject, because rejection is completely different of union. We cannot enter in the reality, the union, when we are in conflict with some words, when some words reactivate us, and with a lot of bad teachings given by people, we have to discover the real meaning, the pure essence of every spiritual word. What is really God, Holy Spirit, Divine Mother, Divine Father, Christ, sonship. All that is different to listen for many, many millions, billions of people. But all these people are in conflict with some spiritual part in themselves, and cannot merge with the source, with God, when they are even not able to pronounce the word or to listen it. So I know also that just the vocabulary is difficult sometimes to listen, but understand that there are a lot of not very good teachers of the past who put in your head false ideas about divine words, and when you will understand them deeply, like the one at 1 month also, people are afraid of that, you will understand that it's a process of liberation and of union with your divine essence, and not with the illusory part. Okay, I stop this commentary here. Okay, 4 pages and just a little bit on the 5th one. Opening the door to the temple of heaven. As the mind becomes more and more transparent to itself, the more it is simply choosing to release illusion and abide in reality. It must come to the door of the temple of heaven. It must open that door, which is to release any final sense of being outside the sanctuary of truth. It must come to bask in the light that flows from the source and essence of all that is. The separate seeker, the one who would know God, realizes that they already know God perfectly, and that they have indeed been God, seeking God for the enjoyment of finding and knowing God again. Yes, that is your challenge now. Would you be willing to simply be God? Do you know what that requires? Absolutely nothing. How then do you show up as God? If you are thirsty, drink your water. If it's cold, put a sweater on. If you want to make love, make love. If you want to sleep, sleep. There is no difficulty in this. The only practice is to be that which you are, and you are the light of the world. How many times have you heard me say that to you? Be that which you are, and you are the light of the world. You have heard the word and say, "Oh, Now, if I could only be who I am, then I'd be the light of the world. But I'm not being who I am, so I must be the darkness of the world. But the whole time, you are indeed being who you are. You are the light that lights the world. For in being whatever you have chosen to be at any moment, you are that which generates awareness of experience. And that is all that we are as the mind of God, that which generates experience. For experience is the extension of creation. You have not failed in separating yourself from yourself. You have not succeeded in shaking the hand off of your own arm. The joke has been on you because you wanted to be joked. In each moment of your existence, you have been the perfect expression of God. Even in the moments of your deepest so-called suffering, when you believed that everybody else had it and you did not, when you perceived yourself as being light years from knowing God, you were the very power of God creating that perception. You are also that one who dared to be bold enough to allow Shanti Cristo into your life, a rather radical organization. You created it as the context for your awakening, and you are free to use that context, that organization, to enlighten the entire planet if you want to. You are also free to let it crumble into an ancient echo of memory. There is only God, and you are that. God extends creation without ceasing. You will therefore always continue to exist as the one who creates experience. This is why there is only one question worth asking. What do I truly want? What do I truly want? For you will experience the answer to that question. And in fact, your experience is the answer to the question. You can lay in bed with the flu and ask yourself the question, what do I truly want? Well, this body-mind has the flu. I'm experiencing exactly what I have wanted. And you can embrace it and love it and see it as perfectly innocent because that is the truth of it. Having the flu is not a sign of failure. The death of the body is not a sign of failure. It is just what is arising as the extension of creation. So, the final and greatest truth that can be told sounds like complete nonsense. It is unacceptable to the egoic mind that wants the power of making the false, separate self, all-powerful and invincible, standing against the world, in other words, the gnat shouting at the universe. For the mind that is awakened to the reality of God allows all things, trusts all things, embraces all things, transcends all things, and sees the shimmering perfection literally showing up as all things. You are perfectly free in every moment. Nothing can imprison God. If you choose to leave a relationship, you are merely using the complete freedom of God to generate experience. If you choose to stay in a relationship, you are merely using the freedom of God to generate experience. Neither is right, neither is wrong. Both options are totally free and uncaused, and each expresses God. It is indeed time to give up perceiving some things as being more perfect than others. There is only God. There has only been God. There will always be only God. When a wave is cast up out of the ocean, it does not lose its wetness. And who would say that this wave is better than that wave? Yet I say unto you, the mind that chooses one wave over the other is the mind of God creating creation. For in the very moment when one was when one wave is chosen as having a greater value, experience has been had. And experience is the extension of creation. You therefore are a creator, and you create without ceasing. You remain today exactly as you were when you were created by yourself. You remain free to create whatever you want to perceive, and you do it from within the mind, and you expand it out, you radiate it out with every thought you think. When an enlightened master shows up on the planet, it is simply that God has given up playing the game of the separate self through that body-mind. That is all. An enlightened mind realizes that there is only God, and that in that freedom, it is free to show up as the body-mind in whatever way it wants, while the body-mind lasts. Whether it shows up with saffron robes or a beggar's worn-out clothing makes no difference. An enlightened mind is an enlightened mind. It might smoke a cigarette, it might drink carrot juice, it becomes irrelevant. And the one smoking the cigarette looks at the one drinking the carrot juice and smiles. The one drinking the carrot juice looks at the one smoking the cigarette and smiles. And in that smile, there is only the one beholding the one. You then are free to be at peace. You are free to release all judgment. You are indeed free to give yourself the exquisite experience of being the one who allows all things. You are the one who is free to embrace the innocence of each moment. You are the one who is free to require sunglasses against the morning sunrise. You are the one who is free to be free. And to be free is to be authentic. And to be authentic is to demonstrate the reality that only God exists. There is only God. Though it seems that you are receiving information outside yourself, yet I say unto you, you have received information only from yourself. God. Only the mind of God exists, and you are God choosing to remember that you are God. Just a little commentary. I feel a lot of beautiful energy of the presence, the divine presence. I understand a little bit better when I read it for the 5th time in my life. Okay, I will continue. There is only God. Though it seems that you are receiving information outside yourself, yet I say unto you, you have received information only from yourself. God. Only the mind of God exists, and you are God choosing to remember that you are God. If you would go back and read the Yeshua letters, not all of those communications were from the perspective of Yeshua ben Joseph. There was also direct communication from the mind of God, given as a clear and obvious sign unto you. Things were said even in that book that revealed the truth that there is only God. If you looked past it and did not see it, it is because you still thought it would be too fearful for you to know the truth that sets you free. You needed to perceive there was an individual who had an experience opening to Yeshua ben Joseph, and you were receiving information through the medium of a channel, and yet I say unto you, You have received information only from yourself, God. If you want an extract of the Yeshua letters, write to me an email. I will send it to you. It's a beautiful, beautiful text. It's the first one that Jayem received from Yeshua, or from the mind of Christ, before the other texts and before these lessons. And you will see how he was afraid also to receive that and to share that. It's very interesting to see the human part of Jayem, who has written after what he have received and recorded. This is why all giving is receiving. This is why loss is not possible, and why death does not exist. God can only dissolve into God, and in that realization, the final step, beyond even the way of knowing, is to release resistance to creation itself and learn to show up as God in individuated form, to have a good time, to love, to create, to extend. Therefore, indeed, beloved friends, our love will be without ceasing. Our creativity will be without ceasing. For we are that one showing up as creation for the joy of the dance. There is nothing but this. There is nothing above or below, nothing behind or ahead. You are indeed that one now. And if you rest upon your couch with eyes closed, who is doing the resting? Whose eyes are closed? In this lesson, I have given unto you the very rock bottom, most fundamental core that you can now sit with or dance with if you wish. You can take it to bed with you. You can have a cup of coffee with it. You can strive to understand it. You can analyze it, saying, well, there must be some message here. This must be metaphor somehow. Or you can simply give up being identified as a separate self, still struggling to know the truth. In A Course in Miracles, I said unto you, holy relationship is when any two have looked within and found no lack, and therefore choose to join, to create, to make happy. If any two have looked within and found no lack, they have seen that there is only God. Who cares whether this body-mind goes there or this one goes over there? It's all the same. Where do you feel like playing? That is all. And when you see your brother or sister say, I'm moving from this location to that location, the awakened mind says, oh, this is a part of myself wanting to go live in Cleveland now. Perfectly fine. For the enlightened mind gives perfect freedom to all beings because it sees that the expression of all beings is the freedom of its own self, of the one mind which is God, showing up as that being who would rather take the body-mind to Cleveland instead of living in Florida. When the lover awakens at 3 in the morning and says, I now need to move to a monastery and live in perfect silence in a solitary cell. I will never see you again. The totally enlightened mind receives that and smiles, for that enlightened mind knows that the lover can never truly leave because separation is unreal. Therefore, the enlightened mind allows all things, trusts all things, embraces all things, and transcends all things. There is only God, and you are that. You are as I am. Just a little comment. 3 paragraphs before, it was said in A Course in Miracles, I say, I just want to say that I have studied since more than 15 years this course, and it's the same thing as with this one. Sometimes I feel that it's very true, other times I say I'm not sure, no, it's not true, and sometimes I say it's the presence of Yeshua, other time I say no, it's not him, it's another being, another Christic being. Sometimes I say it's the presence of the Christ inside of this being who gave this teaching. My mind changes with time, but if you want to discover the Course in Miracles in French, I have a big website about that, and in past years I have recorded almost all the parts, not completely the exercises, but the theory of the text and the clarification of terms, and the manual for a teacher or teachers. You have my little videos of that. It's my website, Everyoneweb, fr/ Course in Miracles. I prefer the way of speaking of this book. It's more a modern way. I find it's more easy to understand. But the Course in Miracles, even if it's very difficult to understand, it brings a lot of very good things also. So I have a notice at the top of the page of my website where I say I don't think that this course comes from Yeshua. But I'm not sure. My soul searches him a lot, and I know that he lives in the different dimension. I know that he is in some parts in this physical plane, and in other parts of himself or of our soul in higher dimensions. And it's difficult to completely say if it's him or not. So what is more important with him or with every teacher is to take what resonates in your soul and to put aside for this moment what doesn't resonates. And what I say often, to don't throw in the garbage the baby with the water that is not clean. En français, c'est ne pas jeter le bébé avec l'eau du bain. You understand? So put aside what is not true or what is dark or what is false for you and keep what is good. It's very, very rare. Maybe I don't think I have found this, a teaching completely 100% true on this physical plane. In every person I have found some errors, and people regularly don't want to be confronted. Even great teachers who seems to be very open, they don't want to talk with me, they don't want to receive my mails, because spiritual confrontation is very hard. But for me it's very interesting. It's to try to discover really what is the divine truth. And sometimes we think that we have this truth, this divine truth, and after some months or years we can discover that it was not the real truth. Something else is the real truth. So we need a lot of humility to say something in person, in video, in text, and after one time to correct that and to say there was error in that, and it's natural, it's human, and it's okay. So many times I have did this, and I will do this again if it's necessary. And I hope that I will find people who will want to deepen, to approfondir this teaching with me, because it's a revolution in my heart and in my mind, in my soul. And there is not a lot of people who are interested in that, but me, it's my priority actually. And if you are interested, maybe we can share some things about that together. Okay. It's almost finished. One pages. Less than 1 pages. 1 page, excuse me. Okay. The only question left then is, who do you want to play with? Who do you want to play with? Knowers of God or knowers of fear? They are all good, and yet in that play, and this play of creation, you are free to decide who you will play with, who you will dance with, who you will create with, and what you will create. As any mind awakens to itself as God, it becomes more and more interested only in being with others who are like-minded. It can no longer tolerate unenlightenment. Why? Because it's not as much fun, it's not as loving, and God is but love. Therefore, beloved friends, review well what has been shared with you in this lesson. If you have been noticing, quite a shift has just occurred. The cast is out of the bag, for Yeshua ben Joseph has been but a disguise chosen of me to present myself to you, because you have required it. With that, we don't know if the author of this course wants to say, I'm not Yeshua, but I use his name to have your attention, or if it's the Christ who say, with the identity of Yeshua, I gave this teaching, or I gave in the past many teachings. It's a special sentence. I don't know exactly what it means, but like I said before, it's not really important who gave this course. What is important is what in this course can transform your soul and help you to merge more with God, with your source. Okay, the last sentence. Okay, no. 2 paragraphs. Indeed, beloved friends, be at peace always. Let us play together as that one mind, extending creation without end, inviting aspects of ourself back to ourself. Only love is real, only love exists, only love is worthy of love. And God wants only that which extends the good, the holy, and the beautiful. Therefore, indeed, peace be with you always. For in truth, where could it go? No, I am with you always. Amen. I have the light of the camera here, and I don't know, sometimes I have some reflection, some shadows. Thank you very much to have watched this video. It's hot here in the summer. I will go to the pool at the 27th floor. We have a beautiful pool with a view of the city of Montreal, and sometimes I do my consultation in psychology and spirituality in the pool with people. For a consultation with me, you have no price, no fixed price, it's a donation. You say to me in what field you work and what gift, what donation you want to share with me, and I say to you what time I will offer to you. So I don't know at your home if it's hot or not, if you have climatization or not. Me, I stop the climatization here, there, to don't have the noise at the camera. Maybe you can go in the shower. Me, I will go in the pool. It's like heaven on earth, this pool for me. So thank you again. And I will see you maybe tomorrow or in 2 days. Bye-bye.